welcome back to another episode of Highly Anticipated Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Raphael, and I have with me today our
Your
co-host,
co-host.
Will Young.
Yeah.
And
Repping the
look, man,
goal.
I'm ready to get into it. The NBA season just opened up this past week. There's a lot of drama going on in the NFL, so we just gonna really dive right into it.
Oh,
First, we gonna start with some of the performances in the NBA that happened this past week. And I think we should start with the Nets. You know, they
so
opened
too.
up they opened up against the Bucks. I mean, you had them beating the Bucks by what, 15 or 10?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not even gonna cap.
And clearly that did not happen. And then I believe the Nets did bounce back the next game, and then they did lose again to the Hornets today. But what would you say about the Nets' performance? Like, how does that have you feeling right now?
Let me just start off and say, as you can see, I'm repping the goat today. Mr. Kevin Durant himself. Okay. Now, as far as a team, we can trade half of them away today. Today, Joe Harris gone. He can go. I'm a cut. I'm not even gonna cap. I'm a couple games off of telling James he can slide too. They is,
Relax.
bro. Listen,
Relax.
they're not hooping. First off, let's just address their defense, especially against the Bucks. I mean, my gosh, it was horrendous, bro. Literally horrendous. Wide open threes, letting them get comfortable shots, whatever they want.
Whatever Giannis wanted
Bro,
to do, he did.
okay, all right, all right. Literally, it was horrible, bro. It was literally like excruciating to watch. Besides the fact that Kevin, is a buck and he gonna get his, but he needs help for real, and that's why we need Kyrie back. Kyrie, if you're out there, bro, go ahead and get that vaccine soon, please, please.
Kyrie is not getting that vaccine. If your hope is on Kyrie Irving getting that vaccine,
Help.
y'all might as well pack in the bags right now. Just pack it
Listen,
in, say GG's, and just give the crown back to.
'cause
Well, I mean, you never took
we
the crown back from
played,
Giannis,
we
but just give it
just
back to him.
played the Charlotte Hornets, and two players were in double digits. Kevin, who had a smooth 38 piece,
Mm-hmm.
and James Harden, who, by the way, went 6 for 16, bro. It's embarrassing.
He had 38 in an L. Don't forget that. 38 in an L. And I mean, just
Okay,
cause look, look,
hey,
look,
I
look,
said
maybe
the
why don't
net.
instead of saying maybe the Hornets are just good. You know, maybe the Hornets are just good. Why can't
That's
you just
not.
give them the
Don't
credit?
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Miles Bridges hoop had a smooth 30 ball. Melo hooped. I think the Hornets are gonna be good this year. I think they can be I don't know, 60. I don't even think I think they'll make it outside the playing team, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I think they hooping. They hooping for sure. I mean,
I
look. I
but
just think
don't get me wrong, bro. The next defense is piss poor, bro. It's
I
bad.
no, I
And
just think,
Kevin
but I
needs
mean,
help.
that's always been the Nets' problem is defense. I mean, personally, I think they're gonna figure it out. I just think they're still, trying to gel because it's a whole new team, And part of me does feel the fact like I feel like Kyrie not getting this vaccine is hurting them because I really do think
Really.
their offense is predicated on like, bro, Kyrie Irving is gonna be there.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of a different adjustment to make because it's like, okay, we gotta adjust to this offense now, but
Exactly. Now
what's gonna happen when
Kevin's
what's
in a
gonna happen when
position now.
Kyrie's not there? You know?
Kevin's in a position where he got to do it all, as you can see
Okay,
against
but
the
I mean
7.
that's fine. Like that's Kevin Durant. Like he's gonna always do that, whether Kyrie is there or not.
Exactly,
That's
but
it.
I'm saying it takes some of the pressure off. Yeah, he can get what 29, 15, and 12 versus 76ers, which that's just Kevin. That's him, doing GOAT things. You feel me? GOAT team.
Relax.
But at the end of the day, he needs help and he needs the pressure off.
He needs help,
And
but he has James Harden. Like I know you
James
did not
Harden
just
is
no.
not
Listen.
hooping.
You're saying that Kevin Durant needs help when he has arguably one of the best scorers in NBA history to his
Correct.
left. Like, what are you talking about? He
Correct.
needs help.
But is James Harden playing like that? No, he's just not.
Okay, but that's that. You have how much more help do you want?
I,
People
I,
literally crucified LeBron for AD for whatever. Oh, he needs help. You have James Harden, and you have the audacity to say that Kevin Durant needs help.
James Harden is not hooping. He's
Are you
not
serious
hooping.
right now?
I'm saying he needs help from his team. Joe
Okay,
Harris is just
yeah,
running.
that's better. That's better.
Joe Harris is just running around.
Yeah, he doing
Okay,
Joe Harris is doing cardio at this point.
bro,
He just there,
bro, it's a waste,
just
bro.
there.
Okay, I don't know. If James Harden hammy still messed up from the playoffs. I don't know, but he's not hooping. So that's what I'm saying. Now I'm not saying he need help. Like they got to bring in more. Like they just got
Yeah.
Patty. Patty had an off night tonight, so I'm gonna let him slide. But Patty's been hooping. You know, first 2 games shooting 100% from three, so can't be
Hmm.
mad. But in terms of the help that he got the night of the 76ers, like LaMarcus Aldridge coming off the bench, giving them like a smooth 20. Other players, he needs that, but they need that on a consistent basis, bro. Because
Yeah, yeah. Nah.
the defense not gonna win them games. So offensively, they're not gonna help Kevin. Then it's gonna be a rough. That's gonna be in that play-in.
I mean, no, no. I don't think they're gonna drop down all the way to the plan. But
No,
I do agree. I do agree that their biggest issue, like, even if James Harden is off, I think offensively, just having Kevin Durant, I think they'll be able to get by if their defense was better. Like you said, if their defense was better, I feel like they'd be able to get by games because I mean, when you just, regardless, if James Harden's 6 for 16, he's still gonna get his 20 somehow, some way. Kevin Durant's gonna be Kevin Durant somehow, some way. But
go
they
team.
just can't. They can't
Go
guard a
team.
fly. They can't guard anything. You know. But I mean, personally, I just think, like I said before, it's just not having Kyrie Irving, I feel like hurts them in a sense because I don't want to say it's like they don't know how to play, but it's like it's hard adjusting to a certain offense, knowing in the back of your head that dang, like Kyrie can come back at any given time and this whole offensive game plan is gone because it's different. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
that and Javon Carter was our starting point guard today.
yeah, I
And
mean
he's not
that
a starting point guard in this league. So
yeah, that too. But I mean also other performances we could talk about the Lakers. I'll
let's get
start
into
with that.
it.
I'll start with that.
Let's get into it.
I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know what I'm about to say is gonna sound like I'm not his fan, but I'm
I
a
mean,
Russell Westbrook.
Brody Builder.
I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. You know, I just personally felt, and granted, anything could happen. I mean, I still feel like they can figure it out. I think it's still early. But I never personally thought that Russell Westbrook was a good fit for the Lakers. That's just me. I never thought it was a good fit. I
Never
just
was.
felt like having LeBron and AD, I felt like having a two-headed monster like that, all you need to do is just surround them by shooters and defense. That's literally all I thought they needed. I mean, adding Russell Westbrook, that's just, you're adding a ball dominant player, someone that
Right.
needs the ball into his hands, someone that goes 100 miles per hour, you know what I mean? And
Right.
LeBron is not a spot up shooter.
He's not.
AD is not a spot up shooter.
No.
And it's literally three ball dominant play. At least the LeBron now is ball dominant. The LeBron in Miami days, he was more of like a slasher. He could play off ball, do all that. But the LeBron now, he's like a point guard, so he needs the ball in his hands. And I just personally feel like, looking back at it, like that Buddy Hield trade is sounding very tempting, like especially after watching these first couple games, because it's like, man, like the Lakers right now, like their shooting is horrendous. You
Yeah.
know, they don't run. They play slow. Their pace isn't fast, and I just think there's a lot of things they could work on. I mean, AD and LeBron are doing what they got to do, but I just feel like having another player as like Russell Westbrook, kind of changes the whole dynamic of the game. It changes everything, the way that you play, the way that certain things happen. And I just feel like Russell Westbrook, like people keep telling people him, oh, he needs to be Russell Westbrook. I'm like, no, he needs to be a watered down version of Russell Westbrook.
Relax.
Like
Relax.
I really feel like Russell Westbrook basically needs to be like how Dwayne Wade was in a sense, because Dwayne Wade was never like a knockdown shooter,
Mm-hmm.
but he was basically a slasher. He was there in the right spots, do what he had to do. And I just think Russell Westbrook needs to kind of be that guy, like, you're gonna be in the right spots. You don't need the ball in your hands. You don't. You're gonna do your job, and that's just that. Like, and I know it's gonna sound messed up saying this, but it's kind of gonna be like the Kevin Love effect. That's just how he's gonna be, like with Kevin Love. Like Kevin Love was literally dropping
He's
40 and
working
20. He was a nut.
consistently, bro.
He was
Averaging
a
like
nut.
29 and 12 consistently.
Yeah, he was a nut. And then obviously, when he played with Braun and Kyrie,
Ah,
someone has to take that back seat. I feel
right.
like it didn't really hit Chris Bosh as much because he was able to just adapt, shoot, do what he got to do.
Mhm.
But players like players like Russell Westbrook, like that whole thing has to change. You know what I'm
Mm,
trying to say? I mean,
I agree.
I think they'll figure it out. I mean, I think it's gonna
I
honestly
don't.
don't do that. Don't do that.
I gotta be. I just gotta be honest. We 2 games in and y'all fading on the bench. Why?
Relax. That boy Dwight mad he down the top 75. That boy Dwight seen
Why?
AD play. He said, why
Why?
you on this list? I'm not.
Why AD so strong?
Why he grabbed him like that? Like
Why
he
he
grabbed him
grabbed the
like he was
White
his
Howard like that?
he grabbed him like he was his son. Like he was telling him, yo, sit
That's
down. Like a
disrespectful, bro.
grown man, bro. A
It's the
grown
second game. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's the second game of the season. Second game, I just don't see it, bro. I really didn't. Like you said, I was right with you before. As soon as y'all got the Westbrook trade, I was like, man, it don't. I just don't see how it's gonna help, bro. Literally on a night, first game of the year, what LeBron have what like 34, 33 or something. AD have 30 or whatever flip flop.
Yeah. And
And y'all lose.
they don't lose those games. No, like, bro, when they won ship, they never lost a game. Like with both LeBron and
And
AD
y'all
were getting
lose.
30, they're not losing that game. And I just think they lost that game because I mean, obviously, like Russell Westbrook went like 4 for 14, had like 5 turnovers. Like it's just little things like that. Like it's easy knowing, look, my offense is running through LeBron and Anthony Davis. The rest of you guys spot up, do your job, and that's it. And
That's it.
like just accept your role. You have Russell Westbrook now. You can't really tell Russell Westbrook, who you're paying about 40 mil a year, spot up
Yo,
or
relax.
just get it. You can't tell him to do that. You just cannot. You
Well,
know?
Bron can. That's why I think it's gonna take Bron sit him down, and I think that's why I think Bron is a little too nice right now. But I think there's gonna come a pivotal point in the season where it's gonna be like in the first game interview, he's like, yeah, he's super competitive. I just tell him, bro, don't relax, don't worry too much about it. Da, 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 da. I think there's gonna come a time in the season, and the closer it gets to playoffs, I think we're gonna see like it's gonna be like, yo, all right,
Yeah,
relax,
you
bro.
gonna sit there and you gonna look at him and
Relax.
say, "Look,
Look,
I'm
after
about to
that fifth
ship you."
turnover
He
come,
gonna look if if Russell Westbrook don't figure it out, LeBron gonna sit down and look at him and say, "I will ship you back to Washington." Simple. Like he really gonna tell him, "Look, he gonna have Westbrook's bags packed and tell him, look, I'm about to ship you back to Washington if
no,
you don't figure this out." Because
got to.
dude, like we could have Buddy Hield. I just seen a stat that I think Buddy Hield is the all-time lead three-point shooter in Sacramento Kings history. Like he's knocked down. Like and Buddy Hield
I told
would have
Brody
fit
the
the
Builder,
mold
bro.
perfectly. He would have fit it perfectly. But obviously, I mean, it's hard to just kind of say no to a player like Russell. I mean, if I can like, it's like you in 2K, right? You in 2K, and you able to trade Kyle Kuzma and KCP for Russell Westbrook, like it's like dang, like how can I really say no to that? I mean,
Exactly.
it's just impossible. But it's just
This is my team fit.
the way that though it's gonna take for the Lakers to even be able to be championship contenders.
Ooh,
Russell Westbrook
let's not jump
has
there.
to accept his role. He
I just want
has.
to. I just want to address. Let me just address that last week. I noted that the Lakers were not are not a top 3 team in the West.
They are a top three team
You
in the
told
West.
me
They are a top
I
three
need
team in
to
the
be
West.
drug tested.
Once they
You
figure that
still
out,
believe?
the Lakers are a top
Okay,
three team in the West. No question. That is no
okay.
question. And once they figure out their flaws and they figure
Once
out
they
their
figure it
roles,
out, it's a
they're a
lot of
top three.
ifs.
Because what do you mean? Those teams, LeBron's teams, when they first get their big threes, they've never. I think the Miami Heat, when they first came together, they were like 9-9.
It's fine, but they just lost to a Warriors team without Clay
That's fine. That's
on
no,
a
no, bro.
night that they hooped.
You're making it seem like the Warriors as a collective unit is not good. The Warriors are still good as a
They
collective
are, but
unit,
what I'm saying is that the Lakers are not a top 3 team.
bro. Are you
They
saying
are
they're not
not
a
a
top
top
three?
three team.
So you're saying by the end of this season, the Lakers will not
With
be a top three
Clay,
team in
the
the
Warriors are better.
answer the question. By the end of this regular season, you're telling me the Lakers will not be a top three seed.
They will not. They will not. How
Oh
can
my
you even
god.
say? And they just
Oh
played.
my
They're playing
God.
Memphis right now. Who knows if they'll win that one?
Oh my
But that's
God.
3 teams in the
You're
West. Now,
crazy. You're a
in the end, do I
lunatic.
listen?
You're a
In the end, do I
lunatic.
think Memphis would beat them? No,
You
I
watch
don't.
Looney Tunes? You're a loony. Like you're crazy. You're
Hey,
nuts.
hey, time's gonna tell.
You
But
are
all I seen is
nuts.
L.
Do you have a
I saw
concussion?
I saw a 30 piece from the
Then I guess
Suns.
I guess the Nets aren't good either. That you act like they hooping. They
I
not
I
hooping.
never. Hey,
You
I
said the Nets are championship contenders.
they are.
Clearly not. The way they playing. If the Lakers not, if you're
Okay.
just listen, because that's
Bro,
what I'm saying. Like your philosophy is flawed.
I'm
Your
talking
philosophy
about
is flawed
regular
because
season.
you're really just saying this like okay, because of the way the Lakers have been playing, you're trying to say they're not a top three team. The Nets aren't playing good either.
I'm saying if we're strictly talking regular season standings, the Lakers will not be a top 3 team. They won't.
And you need to burn your jersey. Simple. Burn your jersey. Burn that.
They won't, bro.
Burn that Kevin Durant
But
jersey you have on right now.
who dominate? Who
Burn
dominates the
that.
regular season
How about
usually?
we make a deal? How about we make a deal? If
I
the
like this.
Lakers, if the Lakers are a top three team, you have to
I will
burn
buy.
that.
I will buy
No,
LeBron.
no, no. You have to burn that Kevin
I'm not
Durant
burning it.
jersey.
I'm not gonna
You
burn it.
have to burn that Kevin Durant jersey. If the Lakers are a top three team in the West, if they are not, I'll burn this LeBron jersey I have on right now. No problem.
No. If the
Not you
Lakers are not,
scared.
if the
Not you
Lakers are
scared.
not, okay, then let's
Dang,
up
I
it.
know you
Let's
was
up it
scared.
then. Let's up it then.
To
If
what?
the Lakers are not a top 3 team in the West
I just said I was gonna burn my jersey.
by the end of this year, I want you to burn it and buy a Kevin Durant jersey,
Okay, you doing too
and
much
I
now.
want you to wear it.
You doing all right? Then vice versa. You buy a LeBron jersey
That's fine
and
by
you
me.
wear it for a week straight.
Fine by me.
You go to work, you wear that LeBron jersey. You go to practice, you wear that LeBron jersey. You go to school,
Fine
you wear that
by
LeBron
me.
jersey.
Fine
You
by
you
me.
go to sleep, that LeBron jersey better be on the back
Boom.
of your skin.
That's fine by me.
All that. I don't want to hear none of that.
Fine by
But
me.
I don't want to hear none of that for real. But to move past this, so after watching all the games kind of unfold, like the Chicago Bulls have been looking good. Like they
Uh,
give me that effect. They're giving me that like I don't know if you remember when the Clippers, when it was like Lob City, just exciting. They're just exciting to watch.
they are exciting, but stop.
Stop what?
Stop. Stop.
Stop what?
Stop.
What am I
Stop.
stopping? Are the Bulls not
Are,
looking
are
very
are you
formidable?
serious right now? And listen, I am a diehard Pistons fan. Are
What
you
do
really
the
gonna
Detroit Pistons have to do with the Chicago Bulls? The
bro?
Bull, the Detroit Pistons are gonna have the number one pick again next year.
Okay, but listen. The Bulls just played Detroit twice, bro. Detroit with no Cade Cunningham and a young bad team. We're not good. I don't want to hear anything about the Bulls. And on top of that, in both games, I think the Bulls were combined like an average of like, I don't even know, like 95 points. In today's NBA, they were held by the Pistons to 95 points, bro.
What game were you watching?
What do you mean?
You said they scored. I swore they scored like 111 their last game. You
Mm,
must
I'm
be
talking
watching a
about I'm
different
talking
game.
about on the Pistons. Both times they played the Pistons.
Oh, okay.
Both times they played the Pistons.
Okay.
So I don't know
Someone
what
in
the
the
hype
comment
is.
section, look that up. But keep going.
I'm saying I think it's on average. I'm pretty sure it's like on average like 95 or something like that.
I got
Either
you.
way, the first game against the Pistons was close, and the second game it's not like they dominated. So I'm just saying, I still think at the
Look,
end of the day,
I'm not sitting here saying, "Yo, the Bulls are gonna be the number one seed in the East."
you're saying
I'm not
okay,
saying
you
that.
said they
But
look
you're
good.
exciting.
I don't
They
think
look
you can tell
good,
you.
do they not? Are you telling me that the Chicago Bulls do not look good?
Boy, I look good against the Pistons.
Oh my God,
What you mean?
you're nuts. Like you're actually a
What
Looney
do you
Tune. Like
mean?
you're a goofy. You are a
What do you
goofy.
mean? What
I
do you
just I'm look,
mean?
you're making it seem like I'm saying like, bro, like they're just gonna go out there and win the NBA championship. If you can sit here and say, bro, that the Chicago Bulls do not look good. They don't look fun to watch. You're
Every
crazy.
they are, bro. Don't get me wrong. They are an exciting, fun team to watch.
Zach
But I don't
Levine,
want to
Zach
hear.
Levine's gonna be an all-star again this year. And
I agree. I
he might,
agree.
I'm not gonna lie to you, he might have a chance of making all NBA first team if he keeps
He
hooping the
does.
way that
I
he's
believe
hooping.
that. I still think he'll be second team, but I think he's gonna be pushing for first.
He's been hooping, and Lonzo's looking good, walking triple double. What are you shaking your head for? Is Lonzo not looking
But
good?
I'm bro. This is what I'm
Lonzo's
saying.
probably, and a lot of people might agree with me, but like Lonzo's probably one of the best two-way guards in the league.
Agreed. Agreed.
One of
But
the best. You have
what
one
I'm
of the best two-way guards in the league. You have one of honestly, he's not saying he's one of the best, but he's a top 15 player in the league. No, I think he is, no question. Zach Levine. You have
agreed.
Baby Goat and Alex Caruso. Like, like what else do they
Ah,
need? Yeah, I'm saying like
ah,
them boys, bro. They have Vucevic. Like that's a walking double double. What are you? They have
agree,
DeMar DeRozan. What are you saying? The boys are nice.
agreed. You're
Yo,
not what
you're
you're not here.
goofy.
Hear me. Hear me out. Hear me out. What I am saying is that I understand they are an exciting team to watch, but it's 3 games into the season, bro, and twice
All
they
I'm saying is they look good, bro. I'm not sitting here.
everybody looks good against the Pistons. You go out there right now, I guarantee you'll
Did
come
you
back and
not? I
say,
swear
"Dang,
in
I
a
look good."
previous episode, I swear you said that the Pistons were gonna actually make some noise this year. I swear you said that. Now you're all of a sudden
We're bad
backtracking
right
and saying,
now.
no,
We're
now
red
you
right
see you're
now. We
backtracking because
don't have
now you're
pace.
backtracking, talking about some, ooh, now we're not good.
We didn't
Oh
even
my
have
god,
pace.
we look so bad. Ooh.
We
But
didn't
before
even have pace.
you were saying that Sadiq Bey was gonna carry y'all to,
And let me tell you, I'm not listen. I'm not here. We're not here to talk about the Pistons. All right, that's another subject. Are they still making a play in? Yes, but right now they're bad. Okay, they're bad. I'm just saying. I'm not too on paper. Do they look exciting? Yes. Against the Pistons, they look good. Sure, but it's nothing to be too hype about. It's a long season. I
all
still
right,
think they're gonna be about a seven seed, maybe
seven.
six.
I'm gonna make a hot take right now. I think them boys will be a 4 or 5 seed.
Oh
Not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna
my
hold you. I'm not gonna
goodness
hold you.
gracious.
I think them boys are would be able to at least be a 5 seed.
That's not
No question.
that's a bad
No
thing.
question, bro. The top, you got the Bucks, you got the Nets, you
That's not
got
hot.
honestly, I don't have the Celtics being a top 5 team in the East. I'm sorry, I don't, just not right now.
It's not a
The
hot take.
Bucks, the
It's not hot.
Nets, who else we got? The Heat. The Heat are good.
They're legit.
They're legit. They're gonna be good.
I
They're gonna
think
be
the Heat
good.
will be a top 3 team.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. And honestly, like who else you got? Who else you got?
For what?
At least your top four. Give me your last spot for that four seed.
So we got Bucks, Heat,
Nets and Heat.
that's Heat. 4 seed, probably. Just because regular season. I'ma still go.
That's what I'm saying.
I'ma
Them
still go
boys,
Celtics. I'ma
bro.
still go
I'm
Celtics.
saying them boys could get that 4 or 5 seed. I
I'm
mean, look.
no, I
Oh,
don't
we
think
can't
so.
forget
I
about.
don't think
I mean,
so.
we can't forget about the Sixers. The Sixers. Yeah.
I don't have Sixers without Ben unless he come back.
Unless Embiid, the thing is, the reason why I would have him, I mean, like it's just Embiid is just he gets hurt a lot. So I know Embiid's not gonna go out there and play 82 games. So like, cause I was literally gonna say, bro, he's just gonna go out there and drop 30 and 10 every night, but
We
he's
already
not
got
playing
right knee
82 games.
soreness, and we in game two, game two
Yeah,
and three. Right.
we're not. Yeah, he's not gonna play 82 games. He's not. He's not. But to kind of move a little bit to football, let's move a little bit to the NFL right now. After NFL Sunday today, the main topic right now is the Chiefs.
Yeah, it
The
might be right.
Chiefs, I don't know what's going on with them. Not even just them. I know we've been blaming their defense a lot, but bro, I think there's a stat that says like Mahomes has 16 picks in the past 16 games.
He's not hooping, bro.
Like, I don't know what's like, I know their defense is atrocious, but like a lot of the reason, like their defense have never been good. When they
Mm.
won when they won the Super Bowl, their defense wasn't good. The only thing they were doing was just outscoring teams.
The offense is here.
It's
Yep.
kind of like in college football, like the Big 12, the defense is terrible in the Big 12. But that's
Mm-hmm.
why all those games are like 50 to like 45. Like Oklahoma every year, that's just how they beat teams. And that's how the Chiefs are. They just were not blowing teams out, but they would just put up a bunch of crazy numbers and
Mm-hmm.
then just hopefully outlast the other team. But now it's like, dang, it's like they shut down their offense and your defense isn't good, so that's why you're getting waxed 27-3 by the Titans.
Facts, bro.
And Derrick
It's
Henry didn't even
bad.
have a touchdown.
And honestly, I think, bro, because the Chiefs, I think this has just been like the first time in at least a while where like the hype is like all the way died out. Like it's all the way gone. The hype over Mahomes, wide receiving core Tyreek, Kelsey. I think all that is gone. And this
I
is the
just think,
first time they really experienced like some
yeah,
type of adversity. And I don't know if they know how to, I don't know if they know what to do with that. They've been on a high horse for the past, what, 2, 3 years,
yeah.
winning, beating people, skating by on their offense.
Mahomes was in the GOAT debate with Tom Brady. Like, I mean, like they were looking good. They were looking
Mm-hmm.
real good, bro. It's just like I kind of said before in previous episodes. I just think they figured the Chiefs out. Like, I just think teams figured it out, and instead of, I guess you could say, making adjustments, the Chiefs will just keep trying to do the same thing because they just think
That's
it's
what
gonna
I'm
start working,
saying.
but it's not. It's just not gonna work. One,
Patty can't
the
save
thing
them
is,
all the time.
what
And you could
the way defenses play them, they just literally double coverage Tyreek the whole game and just make sure it's kind of like basketball. Like,
mm-hmm.
okay, let's say Kevin Durant, right? We're gonna put most of the pressure on Kevin Durant. We're gonna make him take the ball out of his hands, and we're gonna make the other people on the team beat us. If the other people on the team beat us, we can live with that. That's the same way that they're running this Chiefs
Right,
offense. Like they're like, okay, look, Tyreek is just not gonna be going for no 8 catches, 200 yards, two takes. Not doing that no more.
right.
We're just gonna make other people beat us. You know what I'm saying?
And
And their
and
other
it's
people's
simple.
Will Pringle, McCole Hart. So it's like, okay, like if Will Pringle is beating us, we'll live
Hey,
with that.
agree with
And
that.
clearly whatever they're doing is working. You know what I'm trying to say? So
Mm-hmm.
it's really crazy kind of to see this, bro, because it's like, dang, like they literally were
Yeah.
they were
And
my
you can
Super
tell
Bowl.
by the body language today when Mahomes got hit and he kind of stayed
They
on the
folded
ground.
him like a chair. That offensive lineman needs to get literally, they need to cut him. I
You could
watched
just
the video
tell,
and
bro.
he literally watched Mahomes get folded like a hanger. He looked at Mahomes, then proceeded to jog to the ball, whatever the ball was. Like they need to cut him. I don't they need to cut him.
It's bad, bro. It's not looking good over there. Got the Raiders at the top of the division. I don't
The
get it, bro.
Raiders, they
The
just
Raiders, bro.
they don't even, I don't even know who their coach is right now. Who's their
R.I.P.
coach?
John.
I don't even know who their coach is. Are the but to kind of stay on the NFL, or do you think a lot of people are still not buying into the hype for the Cardinals? I think they're for real. What do you think?
I mean,
They're
at
seven
first,
and zero,
honestly,
bro.
I was just like, okay, impressive defense performance like the first couple weeks, good. But bro, I mean, Kyler's hooping, bro. Just the whole team in general. And I think, and JJ Watts, he had a like a clip this week, and he was like, "People keep making excuses for why we win it.
Yeah,
Maybe just better." And I'm like,
that's just the fact
"Hey,
of the matter. I mean, look, they
right?
a team hasn't beat them yet, so clearly they just better. I mean, like I don't see how you can argue with a team being undefeated. Like I know maybe after 2, 3 weeks, week four, like then you kind of like, I don't know if they for real. Like some teams, for example, that I'm not gonna lie, I thought was gonna be better. It was like the Panthers. I remember they started like 3-0. I think they lost four straight. The Broncos, I think, started 3-0. I think they lost like four straight. Like all those teams, but it's just something about the Cardinals. Like the Cardinals, I always thought like they were, at least when they got Hopkins. I mean, I thought they were a pretty formidable team. Like they're decent. Like they're a good team. It's just I
Offensively
think
low.
they're gonna go as far as as Kyler Murray goes. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, Kyler Murray is playing out of his mind. So I mean, they have all the pieces on defense. They got J.J. Watt. They got Buda Baker. They got Chandler Jones. Like they got, I'm pretty sure Isaiah Simmons on offense. You got Christian Kirk. You got DeAndre Hopkins. Like they are literally loaded. Like it's actually
Loaded.
ridiculous. It's
Got
just
Zach Ertz now at tight end. Like,
Zach
bro,
Ertz. Like
they're loaded.
it's ridiculous. They're gonna go as far as Kyler Murray takes them. I mean, that's obviously a given because I mean teams go as far as their quarterback takes them. At least some teams, because some teams they could just have a quarterback that just game manages. You know what I mean? Just don't turn the ball over, and then their defense or the rest of their team just kind of gets them there. But this team, like, if Kyler Murray keeps playing and having this MVP season that he's
There'll
having,
be something. There'll be something to mess with.
no, no,
They
for
could.
sure,
They shocking. I'm not even gonna lie.
for sure. I think Tom Brady just threw, I think, his 600th passing touchdown today.
Yeah.
Yeah, them boys are. I mean, they did play the Bears, but I mean, still, like, it's just like I don't know why. Like, all the hype is obviously on, the Cardinals, but it's just, bro, the Bucks are like what 6-1, and like I just feel like people just don't talk about them. Like I don't know why.
We don't want to. We
I
don't. It's
don't
like
get it.
again. It's like, bro, Tom doing goat things again. Like, all right.
And we just don't want to talk about it. Like I don't
If there's
understand
a
why.
team, if there's a team that does need to be talked about, it's the Bengals for sure.
Oh, yo, no, for sure, bro, for
For
sure.
sure.
Jamar Chase is going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't
Easily.
see any other person getting that award. He's
Easily. It
giving me
has to.
like he's giving me remnants of like how OBJ's rookie career was. Like when OBJ like first, and the thing about OBJ, like he had such a crazy rookie year, and I'm pretty sure he missed like the first like 4 games.
Mm.
Like he didn't even play all the games. But Jamar Chase is, bro, he's
Man,
exciting, bro.
I really do. I think the Bengals are gonna be to the NFL kind of what the Hawks were to the NBA last year.
No, yeah, no, for sure.
Just like
I
a
think so
young
too.
team,
I think so too.
energy, playing with
I mean,
confidence.
I just know. I mean, I know they just put the. I know they just literally
Good God.
dismantled the Ravens. I know. I was shook. I
Marlon
looked at that
Humphrey said, "I
score.
got to get back in the lab." That's
Yeah, bro, he gave up like 250 yards. Like, what are you doing?
bro.
Like, you just sightseeing at this point. Like, 250 yards
You got to
on
come
you alone,
on your
alone,
head, bro.
alone, bro. You gotta. Nah, of course you gotta get back in the lab for that. But I mean, I think they're a pretty good team. I think they're pretty formidable too. It's just I know their division having the Ravens in there, and I mean you still can't count. I mean, I just feel like the Browns need to still figure it out. So I just feel like
They
if the Bengals
can,
were
they
like,
can win, but I just don't. They
I mean, I think
can.
that division is going to be pretty exciting when it comes to the end of the season. I think
Oh,
that division is going to be pretty exciting.
definitely will.
And I just think too another thing is like OBJ, like I don't know what's going on with him, man. I mean, I know he's just coming back from injury, but I hear a lot of reports saying, "Oh, they need to trade OBJ." They need to
I
do
think he's
that.
gonna get traded soon. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not even before the injuries. You could tell like he was a little bit frustrated. I feel like just not getting as many targets from Baker.
I just think the Browns. I just think he just
Now
needs to
with
change the
that,
scenery.
I think so too. And then plus now being injury prone, I know Jarvis is his boy, and that was the whole big thing when
Yeah,
they got
I
together.
just
But
think I never. I mean, I never thought the Browns was a location for him. Not even just for football wise, just
mhm,
like just the type of person OBJ is, like his lifestyle, like the way like
exactly.
Cleveland. No disrespect to Cleveland, but I just can't
Cleveland.
see OBJ like for like 9 months out of the year living in Cleveland and being happy in Cleveland. I cannot see that. I'm sorry. No offense to Cleveland. I'm sure Cleveland is a great city, but just for OBJ, the way he is, like I could see him in Miami. I'm sure he would love Miami, even though
I,
them boys
yeah, I
dog
bet
right
he
now.
would.
He'd enjoy it because I don't think Miami doesn't we like they don't really have like a wide receiver one. They have Jalen Waddle, they have Devontae Parker, their tight end I think Mike
That's really it.
Gesicki, he gets a lot of touches too, but they don't have like a this is my wide receiver one. Like you're gonna get
That's
X
true.
amount of targets.
But not the way two are playing right now.
Yeah, no, no, no. I know what
Yeah,
you mean.
I stay the Browns. Go ahead, stay.
Yeah,
Don't stay in Cleveland.
yeah, I know what you mean. But for our last topic, this has kind of been circulating all over social media. The NBA top 75 list. We're
Who
gonna talk
make
about two players.
who makes these, bro?
We're gonna talk about two players. First question I'm gonna ask you is: Do you think Kyrie deserves to be on that list?
One, I can't stress this enough, bro. 100%, bro. 100%. When you're talking about the greatest top 75 players of all time, how can you not, how can Kyrie not come to mind, bro? Playing such a pivotal part in both championships that he won. Like, bro,
No,
arguably the best handles of all time, arguably the greatest finishers, if not one of the greatest finishers of all time. I mean, come on, bro. He's a magician.
I
He's a
get it.
magician
Look,
with the ball, bro.
I agree with you in a sense that Kyrie's one of the most skilled basketball players that like a lot of people don't like. I know he has all this vaccine stuff, he be doing PTO, whatever he be doing, and I get that be rubbing people the wrong way. But he's one of the most skilled basketball players to ever play basketball, and I get that. I understand that argument. But the only
There is
reason,
no but.
the only reason like
What's
why I
the
even
but?
thought like maybe he should have been on the list was only the fact because Damian Lillard was on the list. Me personally, like I like Dame and like I think him
Are
and
you putting Damian on the list over Kyrie?
no, but that's what I'm getting at right now. That's why I think they messed up the list with that. Honestly, if you left Dame out, I probably was gonna leave Kyrie out too. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it was just the fact, like, if you're gonna put Damian Lillard on that list, there's no way you don't put
No
Kyrie Irving. There
championships.
is no
You know,
way.
you
Like, I'm
can't.
sorry, you just can't. Like, you just can't. Because I know there was an argument basically like, what has Kyrie done basically outside of his years with LeBron. That's what most of the argument comes from. And that's where I kind of understand it sometimes in a sense cuz it's like okay, like after you left Cleveland, you went to Celtics. And that team was good. Like that team was actually good. You got hurt and then you came back the next year. I don't even know what happened then, left. Go to the Nets for a year after the Nets. And honestly, the Nets really didn't even have to get you because they had D'Lo who was hooping and he brought them to the playoffs. So they really
That's
sized
right.
D'Lo on the low. But went to the Nets that one year and then boom, nothing happened. Really, Kevin Durant came and type saved you type stuff. Like that's really why like you guys are where you are now. Because if it was just you, like you're not doing anything. Even your years before LeBron in Cleveland, y'all were a lottery team.
And I
So
get that, but at the same time, you can't downplay the role that he had in the championships he won with
yeah.
Bron.
No, I mean,
You
no, for
can't,
sure. I
you
mean,
know,
LeBron doesn't win that ring without that shot. Without him, period. He
they're gonna
doesn't
come
win
back
that ring.
down 3-1 from
He
that.
doesn't. He doesn't win that ring, and I get that. It's just a lot of people say, okay, Damian Lillard, like he's granted Portland hasn't won a ship since he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, but I mean at the same time, they're always a playoff team. He always manages to get them some years a little farther down into the playoffs. You know what I mean? And I get that, and he's doing
Yeah.
that basically by himself. Like obviously they have CJ. Don't get me wrong, but outside of that, bro, them boys are really cheeks for real, for real. So it's like he's really doing that by himself. But I mean, to kind of really just sum it all up, if Dame's on the list, Kyrie got to be on the list.
You got
If
to,
if
have
you take
to,
if you taking
have to
Dame
be on.
out, then okay, I understand. Like there's an argument. There's an argument for him to be on it. But if Dame's not on it, then okay, like fine. But if you're
Has
gonna put
to be on
Dame
the
on
list.
that, he got to come off. And then another player that I think needs to be on the list 100%. I just think because of the fact like obviously he's in the league for a little minute, so obviously his past couple years has been rough like but Dwight Howard deserved to be on that list. People
Agree.
really forgot that for literally a 5, 6 year
In
stretch,
his
he was
prime,
the
bro.
best big man in basketball. Like I never understood, like bro, like
Disrespected.
he was taking Hido Turkoglu to the finals and Jameer Nelson and
Now
bro,
relax. Now
I'm
Turkey
not
was
saying they're
good.
bad, but bro, like come on, bro, like he
He
was
was a
doing
little
that
rough.
he was doing that as a big man. You know how hard that is to do as a big man?
His prime, bro. His stretch of seasons at the beginning of the career can be lined up with any of the greats
For
that
sure.
have been in the NBA.
100%. I agree with you 100%. Like, I agree with you 100%. I just think, like, people, just like MJ, right? MJ, his prime it's honestly, it's not even comparable to, like, it's out of this world.
Of
But
course.
towards the end of MJ's career, like, when he went to the Wizards, dude was He wasn't doing it. So I'm
Nobody
like,
really
bro, like,
care about
but
that.
at the end of the day, we're not gonna look at MJ think of Wizards MJ.
Wizards, right?
We're thinking of Chicago MJ. So I just think like with Dwight,
It's the
he should
same.
have got that same.
The white being tossed around just from team to team. I just think that's kind of
I
diminished.
gotta just know who
Maybe
made this
maybe people
list.
forget.
Who made the list? I had. Why don't they tell us who made the list?
They
Cause come
can't,
on, bro, you
man.
can't leave
You
Dwight
leaving
Howard out that
you
list,
leaving
bro.
Clay out too. Like I don't
Klay Thompson is another one where I'm kind of just like, yo, I don't really know. Like, how do you leave him out?
I don't know who's making the list. I don't. I really don't.
60 points
I
in
have
three
no
quarters,
I have
10
no
dribbles.
clue who's making the list.
It's ridiculous.
If not for Steph, he's the greatest shooter to ever play.
Reggie Miller made it before him. Like, that's just disrespectful. But
I don't know who's
I
on the
don't know.
committee. I don't
Hey,
know.
whoever it is,
Just
they need to
quit. Just
retire because
retire. It's
there's
okay.
no shot.
You don't
There's
have to.
no.
You don't even have to reveal yourself.
But
Just to
that's what
name
I'm
how many
saying though. I just
athletes.
feel like when you're adding
Fine.
people to the list, like you got to be able to make comparisons. Like, bro, if I'm putting Reggie Miller on the list, how's Klay Thompson on the list? Like,
I feel like one of the things
does
too is
Reggie even
like
ever won a
so
ring?
many so many old heads were like prioritized.
Yeah,
I feel like so many old players were on the list, and hey, some of them I don't know who they are, and I wasn't alive at the
yeah,
time. So I don't know if they. I think Dave Bing was on that list. I know Dave Bing was the mayor of Detroit a couple years ago. I'm not sure if he was a buck or he was better than
yeah,
Kyrie than Clay. I don't know. Maybe he was, but I
yeah.
personally, if he's anything like how he,
I mean, look, I don't know.
you
I
know,
just think like we said, I just think that list needs to hopefully they redo it. But to kind of just wrap it up, man. I appreciate you signing on with me, man. Like, look, if you guys tuned in, subscribe, like, leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. We're gonna be
Kevin,
tuning
watch
in every weekend, every weekend, every weekend, and obviously, leave it down in the comments though. Who y'all got, Katie or Braun? Because I'm real curious about that. Who y'all got, Katie or Braun?
it's an easy decision. It's
But
an easy
thank y'all for
decision.
tuning in. Will Young, thank you for joining me.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
sir.
Hey, we signing out. We'll be back next week.